If people are walking around without enough to eat and I've got extra, like, what good is this extra doing me right now? Like, all I need is to make sure that everyone here is paid well and the people are eating great food. That's it. That's all I need. That is the formula for this. So anything that comes in on top of that, super easy to redistribute that back into my community. So there are more people who will want to work here and eat here, because that's it. That's as far as this goes. Yeah, there's this exchange that happens here. And it starts with food, but then it broadens into memories. And, most of the conversations that we overhear about this food that people are eating are, they're remembering a diner that they went to when they were kids, or they're remembering the pot roast that their mom used to make. So yeah, there's kind of a lot to this. I think food is a great way to communicate with each other, and pie, for me, is a very simple statement. It's very unfussy, and just sort of a direct, like, I care about you. In 2020, at the outset of the pandemic, what I remember is that it was Pie Day. It was March 14th. Before we were instructed to close, I decided to close. So that was our last day open, was the 14th. But we had all this inventory, we had all this food. I had heard that school lunches were not going to be available, that they were extending spring break for, I think it was another week or maybe two. So I decided that we would turn the food that we had into sack lunches to sort of help supplement what people needed. And we were literally just like handing them out the door because we didn't know what was safe. As those first couple weeks started to wrap up, the line was just getting longer. Like, every day there were more people who had heard that this was a place you could get something to eat. It was heartbreaking to realize the level of need. It felt like the least I could do to sort of help shoulder a little bit of that burden with just sandwiches. So we were serving a really diverse array of folks, and kids and elderly folks, and people who were housed and people who were not, and that continued. The line just kept growing, and it just felt like the right thing to do to continue. I couldn't see how we could discontinue those lunches and just try to go back to business as usual when I was seeing this increasing need filling out right in front of me every day. People want to do this. That's why everyone sent money for us to do this, because they were like, oh, a hub, something I can plug into. This is something that matters. This is something we can do with our $5, is give it to this woman and she'll turn it into a sandwich for someone. The community was the only reason that we were able to continue that program as long as we did. I really think it's just this place and this food and the people who work here and the people who eat here. It really is that simple. And I do think this is the only town that Ladybird could work. I can't think of another place that I've lived or visited that this would fly. I think this, Ladybird is Lawrence's diner, and Lawrence is Ladybird's town. I did not have any end date in mind. I just said, well, every day I'll just keep doing the next right thing. We went ahead and reopened the diner, sort of, eased back in with limited hours and a limited menu at first. And And folks came back. They came back in and sat down and had pie again. If me having used up all of our resources in the most intense part of the pandemic when so many people needed this extra tiny little bit of access to food, like if that cost us and that was the end, that was just gonna be the way it was. Like there was never any part of me that was like, this isn't worth doing. It was absolutely worth doing. And I'm very grateful to the community for supporting us when we reopened and for coming back in the volume that they have, because it really saved us. So for now, the future of Ladybird Diner is just to left foot, right foot, and try to pay attention and do the next right thing.